Hello and welcome everyone to a deck tech for those who love to get a little weird with it. Have you ever wanted your commander to not just survive damage but to feast on it? To stare down an alpha strike and say, "Thank you sir, may I have another?" Well, get ready to meet the ultimate masochist, Anti-Venom, Horrifying Healer. For 5 white mana, we get a 5/5 that reanimates a creature if you cast him. But that's just the appetizer. The main course is his second ability. If damage would be dealt to Anti-Venom, you prevent it and put that many +1/+1 counters on him instead. That's right. Every point of damage just makes him stronger. We're going to turn our commander into an ever-growing, indestructible wall that turns our opponent's greatest strength, combat, into their biggest nightmare. So how do we get this glorious damage engine started? By making Anti-Venom the designated punching bag for the entire table. This is our damage redirection package, and it is the absolute heart and soul of this deck. The plan starts with enchantments like Pariah or equipment like Pariah's shield. We slap one of these onto Anti-Venom and suddenly all the damage that would be dealt to us is dealt to him instead. But remember his ability. That damage gets prevented and he just gets counters. We've just created a lock where we are immune to combat damage and every attack against us just makes our commander exponentially larger. For surprise blowouts, we have instants like Gideon's Sacrifice and Saving Grace. Imagine an opponent swinging with a massive army for lethal, and with 1 white mana, you declare that all the damage is now being redirected to Anti-Venom. Not only do you survive, but you untap with a 50/50 commander ready to crack back. It turns into one of the most satisfying gotcha moments in all of Commander. Okay, redirecting our opponent's damage is great, but what if we could generate our own? It's time we get proactive with our plan with the Self-Inflicted Chaos package. Our #1 win condition is Wave of Reckoning. This sorcery makes each creature deal damage to itself equal to its power. For most boards, this is a symmetrical wipe. For us, it's a one-sided slaughter that pumps Anti-Venom to astronomical heights. Every creature hitting itself is damage we can redirect to our commander, turning him into a titan while the board vanishes. Similarly, Light Mind Field turns every combat into a feast. When opponents attack, this creature takes damage, which we happily redirect to Anti-Venom to collect more counters. And for a little extra spice, Stuffy Doll lets us tap to ping itself, redirect that damage to a chosen player, and it's indestructible to boot, making it a fantastic damage sink. This deck has a lot of moving pieces, and our Armory package is here to make sure we find them every single game. Since many of our key cards are equipment, we run a suite of the best tutors in the business. Stoneforge Mystic comes down early to find exactly what we need, whether it's Pariah's shield for the combo or Swiftfoot boots for protection. Her big brother Stonehewer Giant is even better, letting us tap to search for an equipment and put it directly onto the battlefield attached to a creature. But tutoring isn't enough. We need card advantage, and that's where Shram, Senior Edificer, and Pure Steel Paladin come in. These two turn every equipment we cast or play into cantrip, keeping our hand full and digging us deeper to our win conditions. And once we hit Metalcraft, Pure Steel Paladin's ability to make all of our equipment cost 0, it's just absolutely backbreaking. Now that we've assembled our giant ever-growing symbiote, how do we make sure he actually wins the game? We suit him up with our Voltron finishers. A big creature is useless if it just gets chump blocked forever. So Shadow Spear is a must-have. It gives him trample to punch through blockers and lifelink to buffer our life total. But crucially, its activated ability can strip our opponent's permanents of hexproof and indestructible, clearing the way for a lethal swing or our removal spells. To end the game twice as fast, we have Genji Glove, which not only gives our equipped creature double strike, but also an entire additional combat phase on our first swing of the turn. And for pure unadulterated protection, Commander's Plate gives a massive +3/+3 boost, and in our mono white deck, protection from blue, black, red, and green, making Anti-Venom nearly unblockable and untargetable. While we assemble our invulnerable commander, we can't let our opponents run away with the game. We need to keep our hand full, and that's where our tax and draw package comes in. Esper Sentinel is one of the best one-drops in the format for a reason. Comes down early and taxes every opponent's first non-creature spell, drawing us a steady stream of cards unless they pay up. Archivist of Ogma is our answer to the rampant tutoring in Commander. Every time an opponent searches their library, we gain a life and draw a card, punishing them for trying to find their own combos. And for the late game, Trouble in Pairs is an absolute powerhouse, drawing us a card whenever an opponent attacks us with multiple creatures, casts their second spell, or draws their second card, ensuring we always have gas in the tank. With a strategy that is focused on our commander, we absolutely need an insurance policy. What happens if Anti-Venom gets hit with the Swords of Plowshare? All of those counters would be lost unless we have the Ozolith or Resourceful Defense on the field. These incredible permanents act as savings accounts for our +1/+1 counters. If our commander leaves the battlefield, they store every single counter, ready to be dumped onto the next creature we play, or onto Anti-Venom himself when he returns. To prevent that from happening in the first place, we have Premier Protection. Hammer of Nazan not only auto-equips itself, but makes the creature indestructible. Boromir, Warden of the Tower, can sacrifice himself to make our whole board indestructible for a turn, and while incidentally hating on and countering free spells. Sometimes the board gets too complicated for a single big creature to solve. That's when we turn to our panic button and power plays. There's no better defense card in the game than the One Ring. When we cast it, we gain protection from everything for a full turn cycle, giving us the time we need to stabilize. Then it becomes an unparalleled card draw engine. For the perfect split-second decision, Akroma's Will is both the ultimate offense and defensive tool. If our commander is out, we can give our whole team double strike and indestructible with lifelink, leading to game-winning swings out of nowhere. And for maximum flexibility, we have Final Showdown. For just one white mana, we can save Anti-Venom with indestructibility and a little more to silence all creatures' abilities, or pay the full price to wipe the entire board, leaving our indestructible commander standing. And a true deep dive wouldn't be complete without looking at the lands that make this deck tick. In a mono white deck with a commander that is a 5-cost white pip, our devotion can be incredibly high. That makes Nykthos, Shrine of Nyx, one of the most powerful mana sources available, often tapping for 7, 8, or even more mana. For the long, grindy game, Emeria, the Sky Ruin, becomes our personal reanimation engine. Once we control 7 or more planes, we get to bring a creature back from our graveyard to the battlefield for every single upkeep. And finally, Urza's Saga is a powerhouse utility land that can create a huge construct token on its final chapter. Tutor for any artifact with mana cost 0 or 1, perfect for finding a Soul Ring early or the Ozolith to protect our counters late. And that is our deep dive into the magnificent, damage-loving world of Anti-Venom. This deck is the ultimate stop hitting yourself strategy. It's resilient combo Voltron that builds a creature, a puzzle, your opponents will struggle to solve. You get to play a truly unique game of Magic, turning the fundamental rules of combat on their head and building a threat that literally feeds on aggression. This deck's primary weakness is its reliance on the commander, so be wary of effects that prevent him from being cast or cards that shut down abilities. But when it goes off, there is nothing quite like it. And so what do you think about this behemoth? What are your favorite damage redirection tricks in Commander? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to heal your way to victory.